What if I told you that there's a completely legal way to make money in the stock market and pay absolutely zero tax on it? Woo! No, this is not some kind of dodgy offshore scheme or a get-rich-quick trick. This is something that the UK government really wants you to do, yet 60% of people eligible for it don't do it at all. I'm talking about ISAs, which are the individual savings account. And by the end of this video, I will explain why every single one of you should have one, regardless of how much money you're going to start with. We will also look at why the UK ISA system is one of the best tax advantage investment schemes in the world and how it compares to other countries and what's available out there. But first, let me tell you a quick story that will blow your mind about tax-free investing. Here is something that genuinely shocked me when I first calculated it. Let's say you invest £500 per month for 30 years. That's a fairly reasonable amount, isn't it? Getting 7% average returns, which is what the stock market has historically been delivering. Now, here's the crucial bit that most people don't understand. While your investments are growing, you actually don't tend to pay any tax. These are called unrealized gains, and you will only pay tax on your investments when you actually sell them. The tax only hits when you sell. So after 30 years, you've invested £180,000 total, and it's grown to £612,000. That is £432,000 in pure profit. Now imagine you want to retire and you want to sell everything that you've invested. In a regular investment account, you would pay a 20% capital gains tax on everything above the £6,000 tax-free allowance. So you would pay 20% on the £426,000 of your investment gains. That is £85,200 straight to HMRC, straight to the taxman. But in an ISA, zero tax. Nothing. That's literally the equivalent of 2 annual wages just because you didn't choose the right investment account. So what exactly is an ISA? Think about it as this magical wrapper that you have around your investments. The investments themselves are actually the same as they are in the regular investment account. So you can buy the same stocks, the same funds, the same ETFs. But because they are wrapped in this ISA wrapper, all the dividends, all the capital gains, all the price appreciation, all of it is tax-free. Now, here's something that will absolutely shock you about how underused the ISA accounts are. According to the latest HMRC statistics from 2024, only 42% of adults in the UK actually have an ISA open. That means 58% of people that are eligible for this miraculous tax advantage are actually not using it. But it gets worse. Out of the people who actually do have ISAs, the vast majority, around 63%, put their investments into a cash ISA, earning minimal interest. Only 3.8 million people have stocks and shares ISA, compared to 7.9 million people who have the cash ISA. That's literally people choosing to earn 4 to 5% in cash while inflation is eating their money away, instead of investing for the long-term growth. Now, there are actually 4 types of ISAs that you can open. Number 1 is the cash ISA, which is basically a savings account with tax-free interest. Number 2 are stocks and shares ISAs for investing in the stock market, funds, ETFs, etc. Number 3 are lifetime ISAs. These are used for buying your first home or retirement with a 25% government bonus. And number 4, these are innovative finance ISAs, which focus on a bit more risky peer-to-peer lending. Today, we are focusing on the stocks and shares ISAs because that's really where the magic long-term investment growth happens. The current annual ISA allowance is £20,000. That means every single year you can put £20,000 into an ISA, you can invest in it, and then any investment gain, any dividends, every penny that you make out of those investments, out of that £20,000 per year, is completely tax-free. No capital gains tax, no dividends tax, no nothing. But here's what's really clever about ISAs. Unlike pension pots, you can withdraw money from your ISA whenever you want to. You don't have to wait till you retire. There is no age restrictions, there's no penalties, there's no rules around withdrawals. If you need the money, you can withdraw it. Though, of course, for long-term wealth building, you want to keep it invested for as long as possible. Now, you might be thinking, okay, £20,000 per year, that sounds like a lot. I don't have that much money to invest every single year. But the key here is that you can still invest any amount per year that you want to. You don't need to max out your ISA to benefit from it. Even if you're only investing £50 per month, you should be doing it through your ISA. Let me explain why with some quick maths. Let's say you invest around £200 per month, which is £2,400 per year. This is well within your ISA allowance. Over 20 years at 7%, that becomes about £98,000. In a regular taxable investment account, after your capital gains tax, you would be looking at around £88,000 only. That means you've just handed out around £10,000 in capital gains tax just because you used a regular investment account versus your ISA. And here's something most people don't realize. Your ISA allowance resets on April the 6th every single year in the UK. That's when the new tax year starts in the UK. But you cannot carry your unused ISA allowance forward. That means that if you haven't used your full £20,000 in a single year, you will lose it forever. That's £20,000 of potential investment growth that you will never be able to get back. The compounding effect over time is absolutely bonkers. If you max out your ISA every single year for 20 years, achieving average market return, you would be looking at £800,000. Whereas if you invested that money into your regular investment accounts, you would have paid around £100,000 in tax. Now let me tell you why our British ISAs are genuinely world-class. I've looked at tax-advantaged accounts in different countries, and genuinely, we are pretty lucky here in the UK. In the US, they have 401ks or IRAs. The 401ks are employer-sponsored, so not everybody have access to them. Traditional IRAs give you tax relief, but then you pay tax when you withdraw your investments. Roth IRAs are tax-free, like ISAs, but the annual allowance is only $6,000 per year. Compare that to £20,000 in the UK. Plus, with the US retirement accounts, there are penalties if you withdraw your investments before a certain age. I think it's roughly 59.5 years in the United States. If you withdraw, you would typically face around 10% penalty. With ISAs, you can withdraw anytime and there are zero penalties. Germany, they have some tax advantages, but nothing as generous as our UK ISAs. And don't even get me started about the complexity of some of the European tax systems. The flexibility of ISAs is genuinely unique. You get tax-free growth and complete liquidity. It's like having your cake and eating it too. Right, so how do you actually open an ISA? First, you need to choose a platform. Some of them are Trading212, AJ Bell, Free Trade, Vanguard. There's plenty of them available out there in the UK market. Here's what I would recommend for most people. Open a cheap stocks and shares ISA and invest in a broad diversified index fund. Something like a global stock market tracker or an S&P 500 fund. Do not overcomplicate it. You can set up a direct debit for as little as £25 per month. The key is to start, even if it's small. You can always increase your investments later. And please do not try to time the market. Set that direct debit and let it roll. Forget about your investments. Dollar cost averaging, or shall I say pound cost averaging, is your friend. For those of you who are a bit more advanced, here are some ISA hacks. Number 1, flexible ISAs. This is a game changer that most people are not aware of. If your provider offers a flexible ISA, that means you can withdraw money from your ISA in one single tax year, and then you can put it back into your ISA without affecting your annual allowance. If you put in a £5,000 and then you withdraw £2,000 for unforeseeable expenses that you had, you can put back that £2,000 into your ISA again without affecting your annual allowance if it is within the same tax year. Not all providers are offering this, so please double check that when you're choosing your provider. Number 2, the ISA transfer. You can transfer your previous year's ISA money between providers if needed, and it will not use up your current ISA allowance. Number 3, couples strategy. If you are married or in a civil partnership, each of you, so you and your partner, you get your own £20,000 ISA allowances. That means both of you can benefit from £40,000 of investment growth tax-free per year. Number 4, junior ISAs. If you have kids, you can open something that is called a junior ISA, which will allow you to invest £9,000 per year tax-free for the benefit of your child in the future. Start investing for their future early. Now, let me quickly run through the mistakes that people often make when investing or considering opening an ISA. Mistake number 1, keeping ISAs in cash. With inflation running hot, cash ISAs are generally losing your money due to inflation. Your money should be working harder than that, and you should consider investing into stocks and shares ISA for better investment returns over the long term. Mistake number 2, not using the full allowance when you can afford to. Remember, you cannot carry it forward. Mistake number 3, panic selling during market downturns. ISAs are designed for long-term wealth building, not day trading. Mistake number 4, overthinking the investment choices. A simple global diversified index funds will beat 90% of actively managed funds, and it will prevent you from having the investment analysis paralysis. Mistake number 5, not starting because you think you need a lot of money. You don't. Start with whatever you can afford. Look, I get it. Investing can sound scary, especially when you're starting out. But ISAs remove so many barriers. They're simple, they're efficient, they're tax-free. They are one of the few things where the government is actually trying to help you build wealth. If you take one thing away from this video, let it be this. Open your ISA. Today. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now, and it's the same with ISAs. If this video helped you understand ISAs better, then leave a like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. Are you opening your ISA this week? This is Cash with Como. Thank you very much for watching, and see you later.